Welcome to the channel, everybody. Starting today's video, I thought, hey, why not change it up a little bit? So I'm out on an industrial road. It looks pretty abandoned right now, but during the week this road is super busy. I'm going to turn around here though, because that sky over there, when I was coming this way and came around the bend up there, shit, it looked really cool. So just gonna get turned around. Shouldn't have to worry about any vehicles because alright. GoPro doesn't do it justice, but that sky over there, I tell ya, we're probably gonna get hit with some sort of storm or something, but that's not what I'm talking about in today's video. The topic of today's video is, I think, are the pros and cons of riding by yourself, solo riding, or whatever you call it. It's something that I prefer to do. It is nice to have the company of friends or family or whatever that rides, but I don't know, there's just something about cruising around by yourself that is that's like therapeutic. Groups of friends, every friend knows something different. When it comes to like problem solving or troubleshooting, having groups or having other riders with you, if you break down, you may only think of like one or two different possibilities or a couple different things to troubleshoot whatever issue you have. Where, like everything, when you're trying to fix things, having different ideas and stuff, having like a second set of eyes almost allows you to kind of troubleshoot and figure things out. They may think of things in a different perspective, and having 2 or 3 other people with you, if you break down, will help you kind of problem solve and troubleshoot a little better. So that'll be the first con, I guess you could say, is if you break down and you're by yourself, you may be stuck there for a while longer. If you don't have anybody that can come and pick you up or come and help you out in the immediate area, then you're kind of stuck. Another con, I guess you could say, when you're riding solo is when you stop, you have really nobody to talk to unless you're a social butterfly and people approach you, or you approach other people. I'm not really that much of a social butterfly. I prefer to stick to myself. I'm not one just to spark conversation with people. I can't think of any more cons really, other than if you break down and you're stuck, or if you're an introvert and you get kind of lonely if you have to ride by yourself all the time, especially if you're on long trips. Maybe I just prefer riding solo over riding in the groups, which yes, I do. I definitely prefer riding by myself. Mind you, I don't really go on long trips or anything. A few pros of riding by yourself, at least I think they're pros, are depending on the people you ride with, their age, and you don't really have to stop all that often. You stop when you feel you need to stop. A few of the people that I ride with, not all the time, but the one's a heavy smoker, so it seems like every time we go through a town with a Tim Hortons or whatever, he needs to stop and have a smoke, which gets kind of annoying. Whenever I go out riding, especially if it's first thing in the morning or whatever, within 20 minutes or half an hour of my ride, I need to make a pit stop But then after that, I'm fine. So yeah, if you hang out with people that have habits like smoking, or they're getting older and they can't sit for long periods of time or whatever, or they cramp up, or even if you cramp up, then you got to stop more frequently than you would have if you were either by yourself. One of my buddies that I ride with once in a while, whenever our schedules kind of work out the same, he rides similar to me. He prefers just to hop on the roads and go. Another pro is, in my eyes anyways, is you don't have to be aware, or you don't have to adjust your riding style to meet somebody else's. I've ridden with people that tend to ride a little more slow or whatever. They don't upshift as fast, or it takes them a little bit longer to get going, and sometimes that really bugs me. I know it shouldn't, but having to adjust my riding style to meet the way they ride, or vice versa, kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. Sometimes I just want to hit the throttle and go. So there's another reason why I enjoy riding alone. No, it's not all bad. I mean, sometimes it's nice just to take it easy and just kind of cruise. But then other times it's like, come on, just let's go. I want to hit the throttle. I want to let her rip. But the GoPro probably doesn't do it justice. But that sky over there, man, I tell you. Another reason why I enjoy riding alone too is some people just have an ego about riding motorcycles. They almost put off the aura that, hey, I'm on a motorcycle, I'm badass. I don't want to be around those people that put off that vibe. So if I can keep myself private from being with those people, then I feel I won't get grouped in. That's one thing I feel about the motorcycle community as a whole, is some people just frown upon motorcycle riders, and I don't agree with that because we're not all the same. Maybe it's just me being me, I don't know. But I don't want to be part of that stereotype. So I just ride by myself. Can-Am. Hey buddy. I've always wanted to test ride one of those Can-Ams. Thought they were pretty cool looking. As the wife and I start doing like longer trips, if this YouTube thing works out and I get to travel more, I'd definitely buy one of those, put her on the back and just cruise. Another pro though is I've had it where I've stopped at like a Tim Hortons or someplace. I chit-chatted with somebody there for half an hour just about random stuff. There was an older fella, he approached me. Of course, if you're going to approach me, I'm going to talk to you. It always tickles me when these older guys come up to you and they're like, yeah, I used to ride a bike like that. I had that actually with my 84 Shadow. There was a guy came up to me, he's like, yeah, I used to have a bike similar to that. Back when I was in my 40s or whatever, back in like 20, 30 years ago, I had a bike similar to that, and me and my wife, we went here, went there. I love being approached like that. So if I'm sitting there, standing there alone, and I'm just sipping on a coffee or taking a drink of water or whatever, and an older fella or an older couple come up to me and start chatting, I love that because it makes me feel that I'm not grouped in with the unapproachable type of people, the unapproachable bikers, I guess you could call them. Oh, another pro, before I go, here's a little bit of a rhyme there for you, is if you're cruising down a major road and you see a sign for somewhere, when you're alone, you can just be like, hey, I'm taking a left here. I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna anyways. If you're in a group, you gotta kind of stick to the route unless you're like up front and you want to take a detour. But if you're in the middle or in the back or behind somebody, you can't just veer off, or you're gonna cause an accident or cause an issue. Oh no, grass on the road. Don't wipe out. That's it for the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, you know what buttons to press. Till next time, keep your shiny side up, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one.